How's it going, everyone? In this video, I want to talk a little bit about Final Fantasy 16, some unfortunate news regarding that game. It looks like I might have a bit of egg on my face, given that I was so confident that the game would be out in 2022, and that's looking a little bit more unlikely. It's still possible, but we'll talk about that. Relayer, an upcoming Mech title, will be dropping worldwide on March 24th. We'll talk that, and I'll round out the video by taking a look at some physical deals. Before I get into this, I want to say I hope everybody had a great holiday. Hopefully you spent some time with your friends and family, and hopefully all is swell and you're gonna have a little bit of a break. If you're in college or whatever, you're probably on your winter break, and you can play some great games. So with that being said, let's get right into it and let's talk some news. So this dropped yesterday. Final Fantasy 16 development delayed by almost a half year because of everything going on in the world. Next big reveal is set for spring of 2022. Now, Naoki Yoshida published an update on the game's development, so let us read the majority of it. Not going to read everything because it's a lengthy post. He noted, "When last we spoke, I promised I would have more information on Final Fantasy 16 sometime later in 2021. However, I regret to inform you that I will be unable to keep that promise as complications stemming from the ongoing pandemic have delayed the game's development by almost half a year. As the latest addition to the Final Fantasy series being developed for the PlayStation 5, Final Fantasy 16 has amassed a sizable team composed of talent creators from around the world. However, in an effort to offset the ongoing effects, we've had to decentralize the workforce by permitting staff to tackle their assignments from home. This has unfortunately hampered communication from the Tokyo office, which in turn has led to delays or, in extreme cases, cancellations of asset deliveries from our outsourced partners. That said, we have spent much of 2021 addressing this issue and hope to see its impact to a minimum by the new year, allowing us to better focus on the tasks at hand." So that leaves us with the question, when can we expect the next round of information? Well, I am happy to announce the current plan is to conduct our next big reveal in spring of 2022, as we seek to build excitement leading up to the game's eventual release. I deeply apologize to all of you that are looking forward to learning more about Final Fantasy 16, and thank you for your continued patience while we focused our combined efforts on development. Okay, so a lot to unpack there. Yes, we were supposed to hear about FF16 in 2021, and I thought the next time we would get a big major update, we would also get a release date with that. I don't think that was too much of a stretch because Naoki Yoshida generally knows what he's doing, so I have a lot of faith in him. You know, when things are pushed back because of what's going on in the world, I really, like, what can you really say? It is what it is, and I can understand with a game like this, where you do have so many people working on it, that is definitely going to hamper the development of the game. Maybe I'm being a bit biased because it's Final Fantasy 16 and I'm super excited for the game and I'm hoping for the best out of it, but obviously take your time with this one. People were a little bit disappointed with Final Fantasy 15. Endwalker obviously was incredible, but by every account, if you're into MMOs, I mean, that game, you still can't really get onto it if you didn't already have a subscription, all that good stuff. But FF16, so when we get that update in spring of 2022, I still hope we get a release date with that. I'm leaning towards that this is going to be an early 2023 release at this point, but I'm also holding out hope that it could come by late 2022 because, you know, that would be a great exclusive to have on the PlayStation 5. When you look at the PS5's lineup in 2022, really, it's a lot of games that are just cross-gen titles. You've got Gran Turismo, Horizon, and then you've got God of War as well. I honestly expect God of War to potentially be delayed until 2023, but we'll see what happens there, you know. Everything's in flux right now. Three major exclusives out of Sony just seems like a little bit too much. Typically, it's two major exclusives, but Gran Turismo and Horizon are literally back-to-back, so that's probably right. But Final Fantasy 16 being a 2022 title and being a true legitimate PS5 exclusive, that would be, you know, significant to have. Obviously, you have Forspoken, that's on PC as well, but I don't think there's that much buzz for Forspoken, all things considered. So Final Fantasy 16 would definitely be that game that would get people super excited. But at the end of the day, if come 2022 and people are still trying hard to get a PS5 but still can't, I mean, that's an issue because FF16 would be a game that so many people would be upset about missing out on just because they don't want to pay an arm and a leg for a PS5. You know, it's one thing missing a Ratchet & Clank, and I'm sure there's a lot of people upset about missing a Ratchet & Clank, but Final Fantasy 16, I would say, is easily a tier above Ratchet & Clank, and people would be really, really upset about missing that. So, let's hope everything comes together in 2022. You guys can get a PS5. Final Fantasy 16 comes out either at the latter portion of the year or early 23. Alright, moving on from that, you guys know me. I love me my Mech titles, and Mecha Strategy RPG Relayer will launch on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 on March 24th, 2022, and that'll be seeing a worldwide release. So There are a couple of additions to the game. There's a digital premium edition that includes the full game, a season pass, the soundtrack, and a dynamic theme for PS4 only, of course. You've got a first-time purchase bonus, digital pre-order, and early bird purchase bonus. Pre-orders on the PlayStation Store will start on Tuesday, January the 25th, and there are some additional things there. And then they also have an early access program. Digital premium edition pre-order bonus grants access to the game on Monday, March 21st, 3 days before the official release. Kinda a little bit different to see a lower key release like this have an early access release as well, but hey, nonetheless, the game does look pretty decent. Now, when I talk about wanting mecha games, it's more so like action mecha titles. This one's a little bit different, but it's still got some sleek presentation, and if you're a fan of just mecha in general, I do think it's something to keep an eye on. So we'll see how that turns out. Again, scheduled for a worldwide release on March 24th. It was initially scheduled for February 17th, but again, now we have a worldwide date. Alright, a couple of deals to round out the video. Best Buy's got some good deals right now. A lot of these are, you know, carryovers from Black Friday season. Red Dead Redemption 2 is $19.99. Great deal. Wish it got a true PlayStation 5 upgrade because, man, could it use it. On the PlayStation 4, it runs well enough, but on the PS5, with those shackles coming off, like I played RDR2 on a high-end PC, and the game looks incredible. It could really go to another level, so hopefully that comes sooner rather than later, but hey, they gotta milk GTA 5 one more time first. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is down to $29.99. Now, this isn't the cheapest the game has been. It has been down to $25, but $30 seems to be the price it's settling at. It's a great game. I really, really enjoyed it. Fantastic voice acting, and you guys gotta remember, I'm not like a big Marvel guy. I haven't even seen the Guardians of the Galaxy's, Guardians of the Galaxy movies, believe it or not, but I really had a great time with Guardians of the Galaxy game, which, me not watching the movie, a lot of people told me, yo, that's honestly kind of good you didn't watch the movie because you weren't so, startled by the voice acting or anything like that. I guess because people are so situated with how they sound in the movie. I am planning on watching the movie soon, so I will get around to that sooner rather than later. But Guardians of the Galaxy, I really enjoyed it. Thought the gameplay was solid, and I know that's the issue a lot of people had with the gameplay, but I thought it was pretty good. You know, using all the abilities of the different Guardians, I thought, you know, it worked relatively well, but the narrative is definitely super strong, and the soundtrack's great, presentation's solid. I did have some performance issues on the PlayStation 5 playing on the performance mode, but it was very few and far between, and it still ran relatively well, all things considered. $30, I think, is a good pickup. Lastly, Hades is down to $20. That's lastly on the Best Buy deal. Obviously, a game that got a bunch of Game of the Year awards. Supergiant Games did another fantastic job with this one. I mean, each one of their games are bangers, and they seemingly have been getting better one by one. I mean, Bastion's still at an incredibly high level, but Hades, a lot of replayability, a lot of content to go into, great art style as well. $20, great pickup there. And then I do want to note, Deathloop is $23 on Amazon. Great deal on a game that came out just back in September. Kind of crazy to see how quickly this game has rocketed down in price, but hey, that's good for you if you didn't pick it up. So that's gonna do it to me for me. Again, links to everything deal related will be in the description box below. Again, guys, hopefully you had a great holiday. We will be covering the PSN sale probably later today, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.